terrible news. Did you know that the Empress is very ill? If I don't save her, she'll die. There's a terrible nothing sweeping over the land.
Nothing? Nothing? Nothing, tra-la-la?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Film Fights. I am your fearless host, Jono Rodriguez, and with me, of course, is my never-ending bestie, my never get stuck in a labyrinth I would get stuck in a labyrinth with, because he's my co-host, Conrad Hartman. Hello, Conrad.
Hey, Jono. Cod pieces ready?
Got cod piece.
There we go.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, very excited.
Yeah, this is our 50th battle.
That's right, and we can't thank you enough, all of you who continue to listen to the show. It's our absolute favorite thing to do, and I can't believe now, 4 years, more than 50 episodes, but 50 proper versus battles.
Well, technically, I don't want to be actually to my own show, but this probably is our 52nd battle.
What the fuck?
But I'm not factoring in episodes that didn't air or live shows or the recent Texas Chainsaw Frenzy, because that was a bonus. But gosh dang it, this is the 50th.
Thank God you addressed that, all the hardcore fans with their notepads.
But before we get into it, Conrad, why don't you tell anybody who's here for the first time, for the 50th time, what our show's all about and why we do it.
Folks, here on Film Fights, we like to pick two movies and pit them against one another in a brutal grudge match, with one of them coming out on top to reign supreme. Today is a real doozy. We are talking about The NeverEnding Story versus Labyrinth. And we could not be more pleased to have a very special, esteemed guest with us. We haven't had a guest in a long time, and we are really pumped. We've got a really talented comedian. She's currently doing a one-woman show called Laugh After Death, in addition to other great stand-up things. It's Dani Bee, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show, Dani.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh my God, she said it.
Pranked.
Well, that was a great night. You guys have a good evening.
She's so great to be here.
We've been lucky enough to perform with Dani before on stage at Dallas Comedy Club, and she's a real talent, as you will see here or hear here.
Here.
Yeah.
That is right, Conrad. And what a great time to be here and be alive is to watch these two highly regarded movies, I think.
Dani, did you grow up watching these movies?
I did grow up watching these movies. I watched so many movies, just like Pulp Fiction.
I like that you're equating NeverEnding Story with Pulp Fiction.
There was a lot of movies.
I saw Labyrinth, NeverEnding Story, The Shining. I mean, all of the great movies to grow up to.
The movie theater was my dad. The cable box was my uncle. A lot of male influences in my life. They
That were mechanical.
The stove was my mom. The dishwasher was my grandma. The bread box was my cousin.
The washing machine was my stepdad.
Oh, man. And he was definitely a spare the rod, spoil the child.
Now you guys are getting into Little Toaster.
Oh, yeah. The Brave Little Toaster.
Yeah, Brave Little Toaster.
Starring Phil Hartman.
Starring an evil, vacuum cleaner.
So when you guys are listing all the family members, I started thinking about that movie.
Oh, yeah. Wait, the toaster would be your stupid little brother.
The real family was the toasters we bought along the way.
Yeah, I hate that movie.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Well,
Bad animation.
the good news is we're not here to talk about that movie today.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to turn the show over to Brave Little...
Yeah, surprise. Hope you watched it. No, we're going to start with NeverEnding Story. I'm confident.
Then why'd you say no?
Damn it. We're going to start with NeverEnding Story, and then we're going to talk about Labyrinth. So
Take that.
what do you say to that, you fucking dicks?
You fucking lovely
Yeah,
dicks.
sorry. Yeah, not you lovely spectators. I'm talking to myself in the mirror.
I keep telling you to stop bringing that mirror.
Yeah, so NeverEnding Story, you know, we open with this kid Bastion. His
I thought you were going to say this little kid bastard.
Sebastian.
we open with this little cocksucker.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and his dad comes down having his normal breakfast of raw egg blended with orange juice. It's good for you.
It's a good dad drink.
It's a good dad drink. Oh yeah, my father, the refrigerator, used to sit on the porch sipping his egg OJ.
Yeah, his EOJ.
Egg mosa.
You know what? That's what we need. We need a high protein brunch drink. Egg
hey,
mosa is in the pocket.
Do we need to email that to ourselves?
Email that to ourselves. Email the podcast to ourselves. That's right.
Yeah, egg mosa. You can see it in those like Red Bull shaped cans. And it's like for dads only. You have to provide ID.
What was Sebastian's dad's name? Do
First
we
of
know?
all, ma'am, it's Bastion, not
Sorry,
Sebastian.
Sebastian. Like
which
the
I
Little
hate that.
Mermaid.
Well, no. Well, the dad's name was
Ariel.
Sebastian. His son was Bastion. Yeah, we have to get that Seb when he grows up.
He was Junior.
Junior. Yeah, I hate that his name was not Sebastian. That's so stupid. Bastion's a fake fucking
You know what
name.
his last name was?
Oh my god, I'm going to hate it.
Bucks.
Is that really what it is?
Yeah, Bux.
His name is Bastion Bucks? Was he a porn star?
No. So when he opens up his own theme park, guess what the money is? And he comes in with his pencil-thin mustache. He's like, hey there, little boy. Need some more Bastion Bucks? I don't know why it went that.
Make sure you grab an egg mosa.
On the way out, yeah.
For your dad. He strokes his mustache.
Ugh, you make a pitcher of egg mosas, just cracking one egg after another.
Oh, yeah. What's the recipe? 1 gallon orange juice, a dozen
2 gallons of eggs.
And one spoonful of potato salad.
just to get that extra film.
We need that
got
extra carbs.
Carbs,
Yep.
fruit, protein, alcohol.
It's the whole pyramid.
It's the whole pyramid.
No wonder he left.
For work.
Yeah. I think he was leaving to go to the bathroom.
No, he was going to get some cigarettes.
That's why we never see him again in the rest of the movie. Yeah. He's like, all right, kid, now your mom's dead, and I'm real tired of your shit, so I'm chucking up the deuces.
You look like a Home Alone type kid. I could leave you alone, right?
I gotta go see Cheryl at the office. I'm bringing her an egg mosa.
Yeah, she's got a little present for me. He's tapping his nose.
Her and I are going to go skiing later. But Dad, it's summer. See you later, kid. Pizza's on the dresser.
And he's like, all right, well, we live in downtown Toronto or whatever, so now walk to school, kid, have fun, or the Chicago streets or wherever they are.
Yeah, it looks like it's a busy, bustling city.
It's just the set of Dark City.
It's Gotham. It's the beginning.
Yeah. He's walking around and these 3 fucking bullies
Yeah.
are like, hey, kid, give me your money or we're going to throw you in the river.
He's like, I don't have any, but I got this egg mosa.
He brings out his pockets.
He's got a thermos. He's like, here you go.
Oh, man, egg mosas. Only dads are supposed to enjoy that.
Let's see, we got grape juice, orange, purple stuff. Oh, and egg mosa. Oh, yeah, egg mosa. Strong enough for a dad.
Made for a dad, strong enough for a kid.
Yeah, so of course, since we know that the kid's a bully because he's wearing a denim jacket, and if you're wearing a denim jacket and you're under the age of 18, oh man, trouble.
Yeah.
You are walking trouble. So they toss him in the dumpster full of straw, and he's like, man, I hate going to school.
But does he make it to school? No, he makes it to a bookstore first to see Old Man McBook.
Oh, yeah, because he gets out of the dumpster. The kid's like, hey, I told you to stay in that dumpster.
Oh, none of the adults like jump in. They're all just like, oh, sure, you can run after this boy and beat him up and take his egg mosa.
Because back then in America, it was like, pay your dues.
That's right.
You got to go through it. Now it's like, see something, say something. Back then it was like, shouldn't you be in that dumpster still?
It was like a business. Hey, kids, you need help? Lift from your legs. Back then, you had to pull yourself up from your Velcro shoes.
You know, when I was your age, I was working in the dumpster, so...
And this is when dumpster jobs weren't so easy to get.
Oh, yeah, the great dumpster recession of 1937.
Oh, those sooted faces kids, you know?
Please, sir, I want a dumpster.
You want a dumpster?
To work, in which to work.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so he finds Old Man McBooks. Mm-hmm. Was he trying to trick the kid into reading the book? Because he looked pleased.
He looked pleased, like it was an episode of Tales from the Crypt or something.
Well, I think he could tell that the kid needed hope. Maybe
he could smell the straw.
Yeah, maybe he was like, I haven't smelled that smell since I was in the dumpster. So maybe that's why he became a librarian or bookman, because that's the same dumpster he got dumped into.
Throws away all his old
like,
books.
As soon as I get out of here, I'm going to get a bookstore.
Oh, shit. So the symbol is the double Ouroboros, the two snakes eating each other's tails, which gross. It's like human caterpillar, centipede. Wow, sorry, that thought went off the rails. So this is a closed time loop. Bastian is the old man in the store later.
Oh my God.
He grows. It's a never-ending cycle.
Oh my God.
Of bookstore.
That's
man.
what the movie should have been.
Never-ending bookstore man.
He wakes up the same day. His dad's like, get to school. Let me get my egg mosa. And then he does the same thing over and over.
It's like Groundhog Day, except it's never-ending day.
So he gets to school eventually with this huge book, and then he's like, you know what? I came all the way to school, but man, fuck class. I'm going to go to the skeleton attic of the school.
Like the attic of any school.
Yeah, why did he bother going to school?
Because he didn't want his dad to know that he
could have just taken the book back to the dumpster, a nice cozy reading spot.
It was trash day. He couldn't go back in there.
Right. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, I did see a sign.
And he knew because of the Groundhog Day nature of this closed time loop. He's like, oh, it's trash day. Can't go back to the dumpster. Yeah. Skeleton attic.
I'm cursed to read this book.
Back then, they didn't take attendance, so he just kind of...
they were just like, yeah, this looks about right.
It's empty. What's going on? He's sick.
He must be in the bathroom. He's here.
He's in the attic. He
must have died of polio. There's another one. Yeah, so then he opens the book and he reads. End of movie.
He reads, and it turns out him reading the story is making the world exist. It's kind of like Chronicles of Narnia, but not. And so he's reading about this place called Fantasia, which, first off...
Apologies to
copyright.
Disney.
Yeah, they're on copyright jail right now. And Fantasia's disappearing because of the nothing. It's like, that's how clever they were with the material. Oh, what's destroying this world? This is nothing. Ooh, that's poetic. Oh.
Well, maybe a not believing, which kind of reminds me of Captain Hook and Tinkerbell. Like, not believing in something.
Specifically Captain Hook.
Yeah. Well, just that movie.
I don't believe in you, Tinkerbell.
You'll never win the race.
Yeah, it's like Tinkerbell. Remember in the live musical version, they're like, everybody, you have to clap to show Tinkerbell that you believe in her so she won't die. All the kids are like, oh God, she's going to die.
What if there's that one kid that doesn't clap and you're like, all right, Billy, I'm keeping an eye.
He's like wringing his hands.
Yeah. I just want to feel something.
He sits on his hands. He's like, not today. I'm going in the attic.
What's the opposite of clapping?
And And then the kid with no hands, the teacher feels bad for him, so she puts baseball gloves on his nubs.
I pictured her just banging his nubs together.
That's more offensive than what I said. So anyway, Bastian is what is he?
He's reading a book, and the book is like, oh, Atreyu is a guy, and he's riding his horse.
Well, Atreyu is a warrior, first off. And he comes in there, and Barack Obama's like, hey, our world is going to end and everything.
Here's what we know. The nothing's coming. It's coming fast.
So
that's it. That's the end of my Obama. It's not that good. It's just supposed to be a little.
And Atreyu's like, you're old. And he's like, I've got a horse, I've got weapons, and he's like, all right, great, that all checks out, but you can't bring any weapons. I thought that was so weird because he was like, aha, formidable foe. So according to the parchment, it says you can't have any weapons.
I don't know what to tell you, man. The book we are currently writing right now says no weapons.
You're going through the TSA, buddy. You can't use weapons.
Put that rock down.
Put that rock down.
Nope,
that
not that
counts
stick.
weapon.
Not the stick. Not the stick.
He's like about to punch it. He's like, your fist can be a weapon.
Yeah.
As defined by section 602-9.
We're going to take your hands away.
So you're going to be like that kid who's trying to bring Tinkerbell back to life.
He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I can't read.
Bastian's like, this book is fucking bananas.
I'm going to throw it in the dumpster.
Yeah, what am I reading? A Lenny Bruce review?
Also, that was kind of some offensive stuff about women there at the beginning. I'm not really sure what that's doing in here.
So Atreyu goes out, and then there's these the minstrels, if you will. We have Rockbiter Man, and then Slug Racer Man, and then Hog Bat.
Hog Bat.
I don't know how these three found each other, but
Willy Wonka Snail Racer.
Yeah. And then Rockman, who may or may not be a cannibal, because he's like, boy, being a rock man sure is hard work. Ooh, look at these rocks. I sure am hungry.
I sure am hungry.
Because, whenever I go into a Chili's, it's not what's on the menu that's appetizing. It's everybody walking around.
No, he was like, I assume you got margaritas on the rock.
Oh, God.
Can I have 2 of those? And they bring it, and he's like, hold the ice, where are the rocks?
Yeah. I'll have a margarita on the rocks, hold the margarita.
Can you shine them up for me?
Remember, he gets there and he's like, oh, these rocks you have here, these are some fine-looking rocks, baby. You don't mind if I chomp down on these bad boys, do you?
He was talking about it like it was a bottle of wine. He's like, oh, this vintage. He's like rolling it around in his hands. And then he almost kills his friends from eating the rocks.
Also, did you like his rock bike? Like, everything in his world is rocks.
Can you imagine if that was the equivalent with humans? It's like you're driving around and it's made of skin and bones.
Wait, when he poops, is it sand? Or is it just other rocks?
Oh, wait, so can he do second harvest and just like
no, actually,
never-ending?
Surprising as it may be, that's how you got the trees in that world. When the shits.
It's the circle of life.
And then the trees give off the rocks.
And then Willy Wonka's like, hey, we're riding off to see the wizard princess too. If you want to join us, maybe she can help you with your dumb rock problem.
Yeah, because the nothing is eating all the rocks.
Yeah. Hate it when that happens.
So meanwhile, Atreyu has to travel far away. He has to go through the bog of eternal stench.
Yeah, there's a lot of swamps in movies of this era.
Yeah, so for some reason it seemed natural to put children in swamps. So he's going through there, and it's really sad. Not because he loses his horse, spoiler, but because he has to go through the swamps. How gross is that, guys?
I know. He ruined his outfit, and it was like hot. It was like leather and fringy.
It was a nice... No, you're thinking of the second movie. No, yeah, he had a nice tunic. Yeah. It was nice. You didn't get that at Marshall's. That was retail.
Oh, yeah, that was TJ Maxx at least.
Out
At minimum.
Yeah, you get the max at TJ Maxx.
Did it make you sad when Artax died? Or do you not have a soul?
No, I did. I forgot about it when I watched it again.
Oh, no.
And I got teary eyed, and then it just I couldn't. Once it started, I couldn't stop crying. So it was so sad. And then, seeing now that I have kids, seeing his face and that hopelessness, that helplessness, and like not having anyone around, and like him having to go through that life process of maturing at such a young age, that really shocked me. But then he just kept trucking on. I mean, he just had to keep going, and then he was just like, "Is that Bubble? Is he still alive?" Like, he was like, "Could we try to get him out?"
Well, he saw the script. He knew he would get him back at the end of the movie.
Oh yeah, because he's in a story, and he's like, "It's fine. There's an end of this story."
Yeah,
and
there's
he's back.
there's supposedly an end to the story. You get to the end, and you just see the in memorandum. So he finds the Turtle
Mountain,
the Turtle Mountain from Legend of Zelda.
Yes, thank you.
And the turtle's like, I don't fucking care. All right, everything sucks. The nothing is like an emo. It's like the Black Parade by Chemical Romance. It's like, whatever. And that's what the turtle's like. The turtle's like, dude, I'm like 1,000,000 years old.
I'm ready for the nothing to take.
I've had enough. I have become part of the planet. That's how old I am.
And it sounded like an old lady that was like a heavy smoker too. I don't care about the nothing.
She was allergic to youth.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
That was kind of funny. It made you forget about the dead horse.
Well, I wanted to add something about the dead horse really quick. So if they would have let him have his weapons, do you think that he would have put the horse down before he went under? Because I know, like, back in the day when people had horses, if they like broke their leg or if there wasn't anything you could
Back
do
in
for
the
the
day,
horse,
sister.
you like, well, now too, but I'm
Still doing
It's
that.
like you're getting a one-way ticket to the glue factory.
I meant in that time period of the 80s. I always wondered if he would have had his tools when he had put the horse down before it went.
Yeah,
under.
my first thought is, you think he would have slit that horse's throat if he had a knife with him?
Well, there's no turning back. He didn't
Sure.
want him to suffer, so I thought about that.
Yeah,
That-
he's like, listen, I have to cut your head off because I need to put you on a pillowcase from a friend that I'm trying to convince that I'm taking his territory.
I want to make a Lisa Frank folder.
Hey, listen, I want you to know I wouldn't have killed you if like everything was cool, but I mean, this is actually kind of perfect. I sort of need a horse head anyway. So, yeah, Artax's face was very like stoic, just very like accepting of his fate, and that was like the saddest part. I think for me, it was just like,
You don't see that in child actors of today. Child actors are either whimsical or they're terrible actors.
I was talking about the horse.
That horse was the best horse actor.
That horse
I've
wasn't a
ever
child
seen.
actor; he was a fully grown horse.
He was 3 if he was a dozen.
No, Atreyu was a good actor.
I thought you were going to say he was a good-looking boy, and I was like, yeah, he was.
Yeah, he was a good-looking boy.
I mean, I'm saying that objectively.
Yeah, it's okay for us to say that because he
was
now
the same-
older than we are.
Yeah, he was the same age as us back then. So if I said, hey, boy playing Atreyu, Roy, you're very attractive, he'd probably be like, why are you in my house?
Oh my God.
Why is his name? Is his name Roy?
I
Really?
don't think so.
You can't name a kid Roy. You name a 60-year-old man.
Well,
Roy.
his name is Kilroy. They just call him Roy for short because the kill part offends people.
At the end of the movie, it was Killjoy.
No shit. Can we call you like Bonk Roy or something that's like softer?
Shove Roy.
Can we call you Peggy?
I'll explain that one to you later. Wink.
No, I meant Pegasus, not anything.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
I'm just talking about how kids make it in Hollywood.
Wait,
Oh.
wait. Yeah, you got to peg Roy.
So he sees the tortoise.
So he sees the tortoise. Tortoise is like, oh, it's on the other side of forever. And he's like, fuck.
Yeah, we're at the North Pole. You got to go to the South Pole. He pulls his glasses down.
Yeah.
And then Atreus like, man, I just lost my horse and I don't have my Uber app anymore. What can I do? And then this bloodthirsty dragon comes out of nowhere and is like, hey, kid, scratch my ear and I'll take you over there.
A little bit lower. A little bit lower.
Again, a metaphor for Hollywood.
Have you seen how short I can't get that low.
Well, he like passes out in the swamp, right?
Oh, yeah, because he like dies.
He dies from sneezing.
He dies from sneezing because he's allergic to sneezing. Falkor helps him out of the swamp just before, we forgot to introduce the wolf character, whose name is, do you remember?
Scary.
It's like Gygax or Gormora or Gormac.
Larry Gygax.
Gourmet. And as in Gore, gourmet. Anyway, he's a wolf who was hired by the Nothing. The Nothing's like, hey, I'm having a hard time destroying everything. Do you think he can murder this child? Slips him like $20. He's like, I don't know, $20.
I'm a wolf. I don't really have any use for
And he's like,
paper
all right.
money.
He's like, all right, $20 and this halfway used subway card.
You fool, I would have done it for just the subway card.
He's like, my name is Gorlami.
My name's Gorlami. I like salami. Now give me the subway card and let's do
I get
this
the
thing.
3-cut combo, if you know what I mean. What? I killed 3 people at once. That's my thing. Oh, okay. I don't know how I could have gathered
I like
that.
this conversation with nothing. Like it's nothing. Also, it's not nothing. It's something.
It's the nothing.
It's the stormy weather.
No, the nothing is making the stormy happen.
Oh, the storm is before the nothing.
Yes, because the nothing is literally nothing. Where were you at? This movie was going.
Yeah, I don't know.
So anyway, Wolf is like, all right, nothing, I'll do it. And he's like trying to kill Atreyu, but Falkor comes in and is like, hey, he's mine.
Yeah, he gives him a bath, assumedly with his tongue because he's got the little arms. So
No, he took his time.
Trey like wakes up. He's like, I'm clean. Also, my underwear's missing.
It's on the dresser, sweetie.
She put it in the spin cycle?
It's dry clean only. It's a loincloth. No, he wakes up in like a tiny a gnome.
Yeah.
Gnome people
Yeah,
place.
a la Billy Crystal in Princess Bride, only smaller.
Yep.
Took me a minute to get there.
And he's like, hey, I want to show you something. Come into my dark room. No, he says, look, those 2 broads with their bread baskets out.
It was a different time. Their words.
Said those 2 broads with the first off, it was 2 Sphinx ladies with bare breasts. Okay, I mean it was a statue
And chicken feet. If you'll
so
remember,
it was like a Baba Yaga.
yeah, Baba Yaga.
When you said bread basket, those were some hard pieces of bread. It's like stale Olive Garden.
yeah.
Well, yeah, they're the day olds. It's when the donuts turn to bagels. You know what I mean?
Oh my God, is that how they make bagels?
Yeah, they just scrape the frosting off.
Yeah, you guys don't know about good bagel down here, man. You got to get the right donuts to leave out at room temperature all night till they become bagels.
The way Saul does on 3rd and 5th.
The name on the order is Gorlami. I'm sorry. So he gets to the giant boobies, and he's like,
4.
"Whoa!"
Those are the biggest boobies I ever saw.
Yeah, he thought he could take them from a distance, but when he got up there, he's like, "Oh, I'm unconfident. I don't know if I can grab all 4 at the same time."
Hang on, but before he actually gets there, remember they watch like a knight come up to the Sphinxes and get his ass torched. And then, like, I remember as a kid, like,
That was fucking scary.
I was like, I'm not sure if I should be watching this. I'm 5, and that fool just got his ass torched.
Wow, you were 5 and you were
I was
that-
5.
that
Yeah,
nuns-
I went through an interesting phase. I was wearing Jinkos a lot.
Did you have a chain wallet
Oh yeah, definitely.
from your diaper to your?
2
I don't know why you were.
from my.
Your Jinko diapers.
Oh my God, guys,
They're diapers that hang down to your.
Yes.
can we make this happen. Jinko diapers for the fashionable 90s baby. They're like super wide.
They're like swinging their hips and the shit's like waiting back and forth.
But they look so cool.
They look really great. The way they're slapping the back of his legs.
I need an inhaler. Oh my
Now that's fresh.
Okay, yeah, so he totally gets skeletoned.
Yeah.
And then Atreyu's like, whatever, you just gotta run. And he runs and he dodges the blazer blasts.
Yeah, so apparently the confidence was just like, yeah, you just had the confidence to run and not stop and stare at these giant knockers.
These golden bozos.
Oh my gosh. The teats.
But now, remember, he gets to the next set of sphinxes and they're like, oh, ultimate test.
Blue
2 more
balls.
sets of huge tits.
He's like, whoa, there are like at least 9 tits in this movie.
And this is the Sphinx where he asks the question where he's like, so how do I save Fantasia? And they're like, I don't know. You got to give the princess a new name. There's a kid reading this book right now.
And he's like, whoa, what? He's like, you have to get a human to do it. And he's like, am I not human?
Yeah,
like, no.
That
you're
bothered me. Like, what?
Or did he say
species is
earthling?
he?
I don't remember. It doesn't matter. They're all elves. They just didn't grow into their ears yet. So yeah, they're like, hey, there's a boy reading this. Don't freak out.
Oh, Bastion is like eating a sandwich and he's like, no, I can't finish this. I have to save this. We got a long way to go in this book that I'm reading where they're talking about me. What?
Oh yeah, because when he screams, they hear him, and he's like, how'd they hear me? Because kids talk like that.
He's gonna keep that crust going. It's like, I'm glad Dad didn't cut off the crust of the sandwich.
I'm gonna dip it in the egg most.
It's curdled now.
That's how he likes it. Yeah. It's Canada.
Well, you cook it like a French egg so that the yolk is still wet.
C'est magnifique.
So, fast forward. Atreyu's in the cave of light. That's what I'm calling it because there was no light. Get it? Anyway, so the Wolfman...
Great one.
The Wolfman Lon Chaney is all like, yo, bro, time's up.
Atreyu's like, who are you? And the wolf's like, you could call me Golami. And he's like, what? That's your name?
Wait, can you spell that? Country of origin?
Common spelling and none of your business.
Now let's wrap this up. I gotta pick up my order.
Keep talking or you can swim with a horse.
So yeah, Atreyu kills him pretty easily. I thought it was gonna be like, Dances with Wolves situation where he's like wrestling with the wolves.
Did you see Dances with Wolves? There was not actually dancing with wolves in it.
And then he loses an arm.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I mean, it's not literally dancing; like they're wrestling. It's a metaphor for sex.
You're about to get the Gorlami salami, if you know what I mean. That's right.
The Gorlami lipstick.
Get that tight little rear end over here.
No, too far.
No, they're like the same age because he's in dog years.
That would make him old.
Yeah, but it's like it's a different world. Atreyu's like pushing 40. So anyway, he kills the wolf who was hired by the Nothing, and the Nothing's like, God damn it. and then everybody dies. And Bastion's like, Moonchild, and then his dad never came to his soccer game.
So the dad is the Nothing.
Oh my gosh.
The dad was the person that's supposed to be there for him. And after his mom died, he realized that his home life was turning into nothing.
Oh my God. So the mom is the wolf. Wait.
No, the mom is the dog that comes and rescues him and takes him to look at his first set of movies.
Do you think Falcor was the dog? That's a good.
Just
That's a good ding,
That's a
yeah.
good ding.
I like dings.
Well, now it's time to try and navigate the maze that is adolescence. That's right. It's time to talk about Labyrinth starring Jim Henson.
Is that what that movie's about?
Yeah, it's about
Oh,
Jim
that's
Henson.
right. It's hard to find adolescence. It's a maze to become an adult.
That's right.
The symbolism.
Jennifer Connelly plays
Sarah.
Rick Bucks. Bastion Bucks' long lost sister.
Her name is Rick.
It's short for Ricardo. And
Ricarda.
Ricardo Bucks. We open with her in a very beautiful park reading from a very short-looking play. It looks like it's 10 pages long.
It's the Cliff Notes.
She's like, I'm out for my daily recitations.
She's like, and this were what will be one with what with thou.
With cometh.
Labyrinth.
Come at
Labyrinth, I knew it well. To maze or not to maze.
I don't know this word. I need my dictionary.
She's like, oh, I can never remember this part. Like, oh man, like this is really sad. Like you're not like, trying out for a play. You're just like,
What's that line again? Damn.
I know it had F at the end of the word. It was cometh or doeth or seeth or something.
You have no power over me.
Oh yeah, that's the line she couldn't remember. It was very simple. It was like, hey, you get your damn hands off her.
She's talking to the dog.
All of a sudden, oh crap, I'm late to get
Oh, yeah. She's like, oh, it's raining. No, I'm late. That's how I know I'm late.
The line that she forgot was, I don't want your glass balls.
I can tell you where you can put your glass balls, Jared.
Or, how do I get out of this place?
No means no. I'm old enough to be your daughter.
I'm old enough to be your daughter. I'm too old for you.
Jared.
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 Jared's like, oh my God, like, don't even. I don't want those balls.
Jared, wear some pants.
Jared's like, wait, one more number. Like, I don't have an audience that much.
This one's called... This one's called Wake Up, I'm Your Dad.
This one's called Where Did Toby Go?
That baby's eyes are cruel.
This song is called I'm Sorry the Goblins Mistook Your Baby for a Candy Cane and Ate It, so I'm sorry.
Oh, my face hurts so.
So, yeah, Jennifer Connelly's
This
like,
song's called Are You Goblin or Goblin?
I can't breathe.
so yeah, David Bowie sings a lot in this about unrelated matters. Yeah, and Jennifer Connelly,
Do you know what time it is?
Ricardo Bucks is like, oh, the rain signifies that I'm late.
Yeah.
And she has to come home, and her stepmom very nicely says, oh, hey, you're late. You know, you're watching the baby for a date, and Jennifer Connelly,
Loses it.
dude, like nuclear meltdown. I hate it here. Someone come take me away from this awful place.
For my wicked stepmother. She makes me wash the stairs. That's right. Wash the stairs, not just clean them.
I don't even have any mice to talk to. I just have my stuffed animals. Oh, and that owl is Jareth. That owl is like trying to find its prey.
Jared, you don't scare me. There's no rats here. I told you.
Jareth, you ate the rats in my attic. I don't have any more friends.
Yeah, listen, Jennifer, you look like you live in like a nice Ohio suburb, okay? Like,
Yeah.
let's take down the awful place a lot, okay?
Yeah. So, yeah, she's mad that she has to babysit while her parents go out to dinner.
To swing, because they're like, we're going to be back about midnight.
Don't feed Toby.
Don't get him wet.
And then Toby's like clearly a pirate because he's in like all striped pajamas.
Yeah.
And so she's like tired of his fucking shit. And she's like, Oh, my kingdom for this baby to be away.
And she, I guess, apparently, by reciting the words from this play, she performs a demon summoning ritual.
Because the goblins
Yeah.
are like, did she say it? And they're like, shut up, she's got to say the words.
Yeah, like so it's unclear that they don't make the direct connection that the Goblin King Goobly-Gook is in the book that she's reading. She just out of nowhere is like, I say unto thee, Goblin King. And so if it is in the book, that means she said it a lot. So why only now are the goblins
think about that.
the goblins are like, oh my God, I just woke up from a slumber because I heard my name.
Also, does this imply that the goblins are just listening to all conversations all the time and like,
Yeah, so
nah,
they're
I didn't say
listening to like New York City, everybody talking at each other, being like, "Did you see the bagels on 5th and 7th?" She got a whole tray of them. They're saying something else.
And
The
I was
goblins
like,
don't
yeah,
know.
man, just take my bagel away from me. And they're like, did he say, oh, bagel, not baby. Whoops. All right, we can go back to
Goblin
goblins.
King, take my bagel away.
But at a price.
God, Lee, everybody's asking the Goblin King for
Yeah.
favors.
Don't worry. He shows up and he is like, I know two things. One, I got your baby. And two, this codpiece makes my junk look giant.
He's like, I'm going to take out some balls really quick to like juggle in front of you.
Hey, your codpiece got smaller.
Jareth, what happened to your pants, Jareth? They were bigger.
He has to hold a book in front of him when he walks around.
He's like, forget about the baby.
Forget about the baby. Just look at this crystal ball that a person behind me is juggling.
Check out this hairdo.
She's like, well, there's a lot going on here. I need to process all of this. You don't have time. It's only 13 hours. Why 13 hours? Because
13's scary, Jono. That's why. Yeah, so she goes to...
because I got this clock from
She's
a
like,
broken...
I'm sorry. I made a huge mistake. I need to save my candy cane brother. So what's the deal? And he's like, well, then you have to solve my maze. I don't know. I'm making him sound like Matt Berry.
I was getting Count Dracula.
Is he doing a magic show?
For my next trick, look at this baby. Whoops. Where did it close go?
I'll never tell. Yeah, so she's got 13 hours, and that maze is big. It's like the size of like the Cowboy Stadium.
It's
big.
like a maze runner type maze.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit lighter. Just a sprinkle of joy.
So, yeah, she gets there. She's like, all right, feet. Let's get going.
And they're like, nothing doing.
Those loafers from JCPenney's. Oh my gosh. I wanted a pair of those so bad.
Oh,
You
yeah.
were calling your feet loafers like they're lazy. These fucking lazy pieces of shit don't do anything.
He fucking feet. He's just always beneath me. Know your place. Let's get going.
Just loafing around. No, so she gets there and she meets. I love how nonchalant she is about meeting the Hoggle.
All the demons that inhabit this land.
Hoggle looks like he should be on Neutrogena acne.
He is a pimple.
He's just like peeing like everywhere.
Yeah.
He just He's got a UTI.
Well, that is the way of the labyrinth. Also, he's got a prostate issue, so don't worry about it. He squeezes it out where he can.
I mean, that's the least of his problems.
He's also murdering fairies.
Yeah, but remember they bite. You remember?
Yeah.
She
Their
gets
teeth
bit.
are like this big. That'd be a cute little bite. It would be like a little love bite.
Oh,
you
yeah,
know?
like a mosquito bite, because they have cute little teeth, too.
I was hoping
She's like, yeah,
she
I-
would slap one.
Oh, like not even thinking.
Like a mosquito. And then splat. Could you
Oh my
imagine
God.
the blood?
They scream in terror.
I want to see the remake of that. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's something we haven't talked about. Why hasn't no one done a fucking reboot or 25-year-old, 30-year-old sequel?
Trust, bruv. These movies are going to get remade soon, and they're going to be bloated and long, and they'll over-explain the
All CGI.
relationship.
I hope not.
No practical effect. Oh, that's
hope
They're
it's
waiting
not
for all the
CGI.
Hensons to die out.
Yeah, it's actually listed in the Project 2025 Labyrinth remake.
Guess
All
who's-
CG, parentheses, all CG.
Guess who's gonna remake it? M. Night Shyamalan.
God, oh, the Labyrinth was in my house the whole time.
Aha, I goofed you. Like he says that in the movie before the credits.
Goofed, yeah.
And it's like, and then the credits go up and it's like, dance magic.
They're gonna have Justin Bieber play David Bowie.
Oh my God, but
gross.
the trailer is going to have a
No.
slow, creepy version of Dance Magic Dance playing because that's how all trailers
Yeah, it'll go,
I know.
dance, dance, dance. A new age.
Your
No.
eyes can be so
So cruel, so cruel. No, you know what? They'll get Timothy Chalamet to play Bowie's role
Timothy
because
Chalamet.
he's doing
Oh.
everything.
That makes sense.
He's been Willy Wonka, now he's Bob Dylan, so why not be the Goblin King?
So Ricardo Bucks, she's like, all right, thanks, Hoggle. I asked where the door was, and he's like, that's not the right question. And she's like, how do I get into the labyrinth? And he's like, there you go. Like, all right, dude. Like, just fucking, you know what I'm saying.
That's why you look the way you look. Because your parents said every time you lie, you get uglier.
I can't breathe, guys.
She's like,
So funny.
she should have said something real scathing like, I see you're ugly on the inside too. And then just turn around. He's like, oh shit, I'm devastated.
She's like, you want this bracelet? He's like, something pretty.
Yeah, this little plastic piece of shit. Yeah, thanks. That's a pretty good trade.
I liked that that she reveals that it's plastic, and he's like, "Ooh, plastic!" Because like, yeah, they don't have plastic.
They don't
in
have
this world.
polymers there.
It's
Yeah.
like, you got a 7-Up. You guys got Pepsi? We don't have Pepsi down here.
All we have is Crystal Pepsi.
It's like they say if you gave a peasant in medieval times a Dorito, they would die of insanity from like all the flavoring. You give the Hoggle a Mountain Dew, and he just like fucking puts the fairy poison in his mouth and kills himself.
If you gave Hoggle Mountain Dew, it would cure his UTI.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, a piece of bright color, but it's coming out real nice. It's all greased up.
What's that smell?
Greased up.
The fish are so big now.
I'm getting a lot done today.
So yeah, Rick Bucks is making her way into the labyrinth.
Yeah, and she's on a nice little pace. You know, she's like, it's not a big deal. It's a long hallway that goes on forever. No big deal. She goes, and then she meets Worm. Worm. Yeah,
Just a worm.
Slurm the worm. And the worm's like, where are you off to, girl? Want to come inside for a cuppa? And she's like, come inside where?
The hole is the size of my fist.
It looks like you'll have trouble getting in there. You stupid worm.
She just puts her. She's doing a hand puppet with her.
If she
Thank you
put
for
one
the change.
finger in there, she'd probably destroy the house.
She draws a happy face on her finger. And sticks
She's
it
just
in.
like, Meek, come inside
She's like-
and have a cup of tea.
She's like, this feels cruel. Hey, what is that? It becomes like a glory hole for fingers. Oh, I don't. Well, I kind of.
I didn't ask for mayonnaise.
Everyone's giving me potato
I
salad.
asked for Miracle Whip. So the worm's like, well, you just go
Hey,
there.
idiot!
Look
Why
at-
don't you walk through that huge opening right there that you can't see?
I can see it because I'm a worm.
Yeah.
Things aren't always as they seem. And then she goes through.
And she's like, oh, thanks. And she walks away. And then she makes off.
Oh, and the worm makes this like little snide comment like, oh, if she would have kept going straight, she would have gone straight to that castle. Like, you know what? Fuck you, okay?
You know what? You're an
Because
asshole.
you should have said, hey, by the way, if you keep going straight, you'll hit the castle.
No. Well, that's not the worm's
Way.
problem.
That's
Yeah.
not the worm's way.
That's not Worm's way.
Yeah.
Worm's.
So when they do the remake, that's going to be the end of the movie. She's going to go left. And then that's the credits.
So what does she find down that alleyway? She goes down and she sees who's the first?
The lying and truthing.
Oh yeah, I love these guys because
twins.
they're like standing they're standing in each other on each other.
Oh yeah, it's
One's
hot.
upside down, the others. But I like when what does she say? She says, "All right." She says, "Hey, if I ask him if you knew anything about what he was thinking, do you think he would tell you yes because you wanted to hear him say no?" And he's like, "What?" His head explodes, and she gets puppet blood all over.
Which just looks like cotton.
Right, red, but it's cotton.
It's red cotton.
No, but I like when the monster man, the playing card guy, has to converse with the guy below him at his crotch. He's like, "Hey, I don't know, is that true?"
Imagine how bad it smells behind that like shield. They're both like in each other's buttholes.
And then and he's like, "Yes," and she's like, "Okay, well this door is the one." Then like, how do you know? It's like, don't worry about it. You put sunglasses on and you hear like a guitar solo. And she's like really arrogant about it. She's like, "This is so easy."
I think I'm getting the hang of this.
Yeah.
And then,
Trapdoor.
And then comedy.
And then the truth and lie guys say, if she'd gone through the other door, she would have gone straight to the castle.
Every single fork in the road.
so the remake for the third time they redo it, she's gonna get to them, and they're gonna be like, "We kept going right," and then she's gonna go right. And that's
Man, but
it.
next time she's in Labyrinth, she figures out she's got like a fast pass.
I don't even need this lipstick. Okay.
And then, she's falling down the gropey hands, and they're all like, "Ooh."
This is a nice one.
I haven't felt a body this young in a while. Because whenever I have to go home to my wife, yes, these
Who is
hands,
also hands.
it's also hands.
She needs to moisturize.
Oil of Olay, hello.
Did you bring any lotion with you?
And what's funny is that all the hands are talking to each other with their hands. Honey, I'm home. And then the hands get hung up on the fucking...
So let me ask you guys this. Are these hands part of one organism, or do they have separate like brains?
I think they're different because they're talking to each other.
Oh yeah, they're like, "Hey, I don't know about this chick. Hey, I don't know, but we don't get much."
Hey,
action
Gary,
out
I don't know about this. He's like, "Yeah, I don't know about it either, Gary." They're all named Gary.
of it. And then the other Gary's like, "I'm on my break."
He's like eating a hand sandwich.
Wait, for when they pass the time, have they been playing rock, paper, scissors this entire time?
That's why they drop her. They're like, "All right, time for my break." Right.
Guys, I really gotta go to sleep now.
And when they sleep, the hands form a face with the eyes closed.
And then other hands form C's to fly over their head.
And the hands are like...
Yeah, and she makes a stupid decision. She's like, "Well, I'm already going down, so I might as well go down into the basement."
Yeah, down into the fiery pits
The
of hell.
oubliette.
I think they missed an educational opportunity. She could have been like, "Well, gravity takes me down," but they missed that.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I could have watched this in school, but no, I could not have.
They could have turned this whole movie into like one long Bill Nye episode. Just like explaining like, this is a logic puzzle.
Fantasy world.
Don't go with Jareth anywhere.
Goblins are real.
Hey, they did teach kids what an oubliette is.
Did they?
Well, oubliette means forgotten, and that's where you would just throw people down there and close the sewer grate and then be like,
They didn't
"Oh, just peace, bro."
They didn't literally say it. They just said, "Oh, she's in the oubliette."
And then he goes, "It's where you put people that want to be you want to forget."
Oh yeah, he's so mad because the goblins are like, "Yeah, she's in the forgotten dungeon," and he's like, "God damn it, she's so close.
She's getting closer.
She's not getting that baby." She signed the papers.
And you know what? For letting her get this far, no more dance numbers.
So anyway, you remind me of the babe. So Jareth sings his song, and everybody's like, "Okay, that was really good." You know, they all clap. And cut to Rick's Buxley. She's in the basement, oubliette. And Hall goes like, "Oh, hey, I'm here too." let's get out of here. You know what I mean? And he like shuffles his thick eyebrows up and front.
And Jareth is like, hey, Rick, the buck stops here. And then they're all looking, and she's like, my last name is Butts. He's making a play on words.
Even though that's not actually what it is.
Yeah. And he sets a very slow trap in to chop her up to pieces. And they very easily just step out of the way.
Yeah. They Bugs Bunny that fucking bull, you know?
Yeah, so they climb out and they meet Ostrich Hat Man.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
They make the growth.
The growth. Yeah.
I think he absorbed his twin at some point.
Why is his twin a bird?
I don't know.
They're
It's
gremlins.
a magical land.
Yeah.
Things happen.
Yeah. None of them were human. We can agree on that.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, and this character was like fun, but added nothing.
He added nothing, and he took all. He's like, hey, what's that? You're trying to get to the labyrinth? Oh, yeah, we're in a labyrinth. Did you know that? Anyway, give me a tip.
Yeah, that's right. They asked for money. Oh, and by the way, she bribed Hoggle with like, she's like, yeah, I'll give you all this fucking jewelry. I got it all at Kmart. It's all
Got on
worthless.
Claire's. Do you want my belly ring too?
What happened? Next is Bog.
The knockers.
Oh, the door knockers.
Yeah, the door knockers.
It's symbolism
I
for
love
knockers.
I love the one with the knocker in his ears because he kept feigning that he couldn't hear them.
Selective hearing.
Well,
What's that? Can't hear you.
I think that was, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that would be symbolic of being a teenager and people don't hear you. They don't listen to you very much. And then you feel like when you're speaking, you just feel like you're not heard.
Oh, wow.
So maybe that was symbolism for what it's like to go through puberty in those teenage
Oh, wow.
years.
That is way more intellectual than I've...
No, that makes sense
Then I
because
thought about
when
it,
they
yeah.
get to the
It
bog
does
of
make
eternal
sense.
stench, like, man, when you're going through puberty, you stink all
I
the
mean,
time.
that
It's
could be part of puberty or something.
the bog of eternal menstruation.
And of course, when an old man
Too far.
when an old man steals your baby brother and is trying to kind of take you too, that's kind of like when you're in school and your teacher's like, "Can you stay after class?"
Oh, and also with this blindfold.
You went too far.
A different time. Okay,
Different
Their
time.
words.
their words.
Well, she's wearing white, which is symbolic of purity.
That's
So
right.
Right.
Maybe that's her
She's
coming
a
up to
good
the
guy.
doors.
She was
Yeah.
pure of heart. She could have passed through the Sphinx. No problem.
Well, yeah, she's like, "Oh yeah, boobs, no big deal."
Yeah, that's right. She wouldn't have given a shit.
Yeah.
She'll be like, I'll have those one day. Yeah, so in the bog they meet Foxy Man, who rides the doggy.
Ludo? Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, and Ludo and him become fast friends.
yeah,
Fast friends.
fast friends. Ludo is basically like if Snuffleupagus walked on two legs
If
and had scary
Snuffleupagus
horns.
was a Yeti. No?
The bog scene that lasted a really long time.
You mentioned that in the when you were before we recorded, but like I don't know. It felt like the same length. I mean, I know we were running at a pretty quick clip with a lot of these puzzles that weren't puzzles at all. It was just an old man talking sometimes.
Answer me this. Can you give me a tip? Oh, is that this whole puzzle? Sure. Here you go.
Well, even the knockers one, it's like, which door is the right one? And they're like, I don't know, I can't hear you. All right, I'm going to go through this one, I guess.
No, everything is symbolic. So the thing about giving the tip or the jewelry was that the life lesson was not everything needs to be materialistic. So the things that you have on you don't make you as a person. So she was giving them away. That's what I took away from it. And then the doors was just like, life is a risk. It's 50-50 and you just have to be brave and pick a door. And
You are so much smarter than we are.
No, I didn't. Do you want to hear a fun fact?
Okay.
Always.
On Etsy, there's a way for you to there's a person who makes the door knockers and you can purchase them on Etsy and put them on your doors, which I would love to do at some point.
That's cool. Do
Yeah.
they talk?
They don't talk, but I'm sure you could find someone to do it. And then I think a really cool, I don't own a dog, but I think it would be a cool Halloween costume if you had the other dog on top of your dog. Like if you were to like, wouldn't that be the cutest
Yeah, it would
costume?
be.
And people would be like, I don't get it, but like I feel like our generation would get
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
so,
absolutely.
Yeah,
When
that was
you-
a sidebar.
When you said, I don't own a dog, I thought you were going to be like, I don't own a dog. We have a dog in the house, but no one owns him. He is his own being, okay?
I did not word that very.
He
right.
could
Yeah.
leave anytime he wants.
Yeah. Can you imagine? You just open the door. You want to leave? You want to stay here?
You want to go outside forever?
Watch out for those cars.
Also, your very astute observation of it's not the things on you, not things are materialistic. I was like, oh, not the things on you, like the bird growth that's on his head. And then you said, I was like, oh, right.
Well, the old man's being a little materialistic of that guy.
Yeah, the
get
bird's
rid of him
like, come on, give us a tip. He is vaguely European.
It's so exhausting being stuck on your head.
This is very good.
Yeah, he was like Spanish by way of the Bronx.
Yeah, he was a Latin king.
Yeah. So yeah, she goes to the door. She's in the bog of eternal stench, and the puzzle there is like, the bridge broke.
It's don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bridge breaks, and Ludo's like calling rocks. He's like, he's like, oh, would that happen if he was like about to throw up with rocks like show up?
Don't do it.
Just little pebbles though. So yeah, he calls one rock to come out there, and I remember, and I still thought it as I watched it. I thought it all the time as a kid watching this, and I'm like, okay, this bog is supposed to be like the grossest thing ever, right? If you fall into it, you can never, you'd have to peel your skin off to get the smell, right?
Oh my God.
That's what they make it seem like, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, ew, but it's on the rocks now, and you're touching it with your shoes. Like, I was like, oh, gross.
Well, now your shoes stink forever, but you can buy new shoes.
But you can't buy new feet. Ludo and the dog ran over it.
Well, they got to take one for the team, dude. I don't know
Lancelot was the only one who scathed, unscathed.
Lancelot was the dog.
The dog on the dog.
No, the dog on the dog's name was like Foxy Brown or something.
Was it? I don't think so. Well, we'll just call him Foxy.
Next, they make it to
Oh, yeah, you're right,
head-tossing bird forest, right? Isn't that what they're called?
Oh, I don't remember when that happens. That happens after they get separated, right?
Yeah, they get separated. It's very sad.
You got to keep them separated, somebody say.
That's right.
So yeah, the orange chickens, the orange chicken skeletons,
The scary hobo chickens.
the chickens. Yeah, they sing a song that's like hep to jive, and they're like, was it chill out on the Grand Slam?
It's like, ain't got no
Chilly
property to
down.
worry about.
Ain't got no. Hey, how come your head don't come off? She's like, it's attached.
I want to see someone do like a drawing of them like actually ripping her head off and like tossing it around.
Yeah, this was a scary segment for some children because they take their appendages off, and also they look like if chickens were burned victims. And like they take their eyeballs out and stuff, and
They, like, eat them.
Yeah, they eat them. They play like
They poop 'em
snake
out.
eyes. They're like, snake eyes, get it? Let's keep dancing. They shuffle along.
Yeah, and they're singing a song that's like, yeah, it's fine. The skin is on the ground, and we don't have a home to go home to. We don't know where our next meal's coming
It
from.
sounds like the song was written for like hobos and boxcars.
It's like written for people who you're like, hey, it's fine. We're just going to do heroin in this room, and
In a
it's going to be
halfway
fine.
house.
Well, if you think about it, at the end, what really freaked me out is that their ears start to fly and they get high. They go up.
Oh, they
So
get
I thought
high.
that was
Symbolism, because
Sorry.
a lot of the hobos, they take their skin from the ground and they do drugs.
The skin is their rig, their kit that they unzip to pull out those syringes and stuff.
It's that horse.
that black tar, baby. Yeah, but the special effects, the effects of this, like the Jim Henson puppetry, is amazing. It really is. Like the practical effect of
You
them.
can see probably modern audiences look at that and go, why does it look weird? It looks weird. And it's
because
like,
they're on the fucking bitch, dude. That's why. They're all tying off in the corner.
yeah, they're tying one off all right. No, but yeah, Elizabeth, or what's her name? Ruxbucks, she's like, oh no, they're going to take my eyes, Jerry. And so Hoggle comes. He's like, hey, I've got this rope, which again symbolizes hemp.
Oh, yeah.
So all his clean underwear. He went around town and asked everyone for their underwear.
Tied them together.
And that's like, symbolic for, oh shit, we gotta get out of here. He's like, they're gonna eat you.
First they're gonna eat your skin, and then they're gonna eat you.
They're gonna take your head off and play soccer with it. Sorry.
Love it.
And take your eyes and play D&D with it.
But I like how she threw the heads everywhere. She was just
try to trip him up, and then like the Newt Gingrich chicken guy, his head gets put on the skinny guy, and it's like, oh, it's heavy.
That's like symbolic of how like your head's not right after
you
slam the hammer of heroin home.
So anyways, they get up to the top, and Hoggle's like, come on. And then she's like, thanks. And she's like, wait, doesn't she? Oh, we missed the part because she tried to hug him.
He was like, no, my name's Hoggle, not Huggle. Okay.
That was great.
I only want hogs, not hugs.
If you've got a hog.
If you got a hog or you gained 80 pounds, I like them thick. You know what I mean?
If you've got a hog, I've got a log.
So I need a hog and some Mountain Dew. Yeah. And then I'm going to pass a log. Do you happen to have any pogs? Sorry.
I know a great place to sleep, this bog.
And yeah, he's like, all right, now that I've saved you, eat this peach.
You must be hungry and tired. I don't have
And she's
Jell-O.
like, I'm both of those things. And then she eats it, and she's like,
this tastes like broken glass.
She looks down, she's eating one of those glass globes. No, she was mostly terrified because she was like, there's a worm in this peach, but not any worm. That nice worm from the beginning of the movie. I just orphaned his children.
He's like, I invited you in for a couple.
And this is how you repay me.
Well, he's saying that in her mouth because that's the half she bit. Boy, I choked up on that fake bite of peach.
Well, then she goes to Masquerade World in her sleep.
Yeah, she goes to Masquerade World where David Bowie, a.k.a. the Goblin King, is like, you're in my world now, darling, where the law doesn't exist, if you know what I mean.
We're basically in international water.
We're all the same age in here.
I mean, because he does... You were reading the lyrics of the song. It is super creepy town.
Yeah,
the
he's
song
like
that he's singing to her.
luring her into
And
submission in a way. I mean, he's like making this dreamlike world and this fantasy, and every girl at that age wants to have a wedding or wants to be whisked away and danced, especially around that time. So I could see him, and his little cup got bigger. I didn't understand why the cup got... He didn't pass out any balls.
My
for the
cod
rest
piece
of the,
just became a shark piece.
was-
If you know what I mean.
It got bigger during that one. I don't know why. And then I didn't understand. I guess it was a masquerade, and it was just kind of like, here you can be anything and do it. It was like a P. Diddy party or something.
do whatever you want.
It was like you could do whatever you want and be whoever you, and no one's going to judge you here. And she kind of just, I don't know. I guess she fell into his eyes.
Fell into his male gaze.
Into his different colored eyes, David Bowie.
Well, yeah, those are his real eyes. Though.
Yep, I know.
But she still had those shoes on, so he was probably like, what's that stench?
Ooh, honey, you mind changing those shoes? Not because of the stench, because you can do better than JCPenney loafers.
We need to hose her down, please. She sounds like the bog of eternal stench.
Well, then doesn't she just kind of like wake herself up? She's just like, wait a minute.
Yeah, because she's like, wait a minute. And then she's like, she tries to get out. And then she gets out and she meets Amy Sedaris. old hag lady with all of her belongings on her back.
Yeah.
And she's like,
You like your little dolly, don't you? And what is this? Oh, your little horsey? Oh, and now what about this? You like your lipstick? You take your lipstick?
Yeah,
And
okay,
she's just
Grandma,
like-
thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Time
she's
for you
just
to go back
like,
to the
can you
home."
put my underwear down? Like, no.
just making sure it's clean, dear.
She's just like, and you need to stay here and do this. And then she's trying to pile. She's like trying to make her. It's the opposite of hoarding a lot. She's trying to make her a hoarder. She's like,
Yeah.
you want to put this on your back? And
Yeah, here's your autographed Connect 4 game.
Do you think hoarding is like that? Like when you're like an alcoholic or an addict, you want other people to like do your addiction? Is that like hoarding? Like you go over to someone's house every time, you're like, hey, I brought you a carload of bullshit just because I thought you might want it.
You're like, oh, are you throwing away today's newspaper? Don't you want to hang on to it just in case?
Let me show you a neat trick. You crumple it and just put it back on the floor. See? Isn't that nice?
See?
Imagine if there were 800 of those.
And let me tell you, a ceiling this high, you could probably stack at least 736 newspapers, not the Sunday edition. Now, so she's been made to hoard. She's got all this stuff on her back and everything. She's like, wait a minute, didn't I come here for something? Didn't I?
Yeah, coffee beans. Do you have any coffee beans?
I was going to the deli to get my shawarma and my salami.
I was going to meet Gulami there.
To meet Gulami, and then get a paper from Saul at the newsstand. What else? There's something about a candy stripe.
That's it. I was going to get some fresh candy. We're all out at the house.
Oh, right. My baby brother, Joshua.
Joshua Bucks.
My other brother that's not in the movie.
She was like, Tommy, Terry, like, not gonna live here anymore. Like she couldn't figure it out.
Is it Troby? Trollby?
Well, at this point in the story, with everything that's gone on, she's like, Trojan?
Trojan? I don't know.
She's
Yeah.
getting scared. I mean,
getting scared.
Jareth is like, his pants are getting tighter.
He's hogging her.
There's a lot more
hoggling
mascara and eyeliner. He looks great. I mean, that wardrobe
Oh,
is
yeah.
Like,
I mean, that's
everything.
why she's like so like flummoxed when he's around. She's like, "Oh my god, I'm becoming a woman without even doing anything."
My dad just wears a button-up polo.
And that doesn't turn me on at all.
That's just Old Spice. Jareth, what is that scent?
You're the first man I've
Bog
ever
of
met.
eternal
It's a bog of eternal stench.
Why do you think I picked you? I smelled your shoes from a mile away.
So is there a bulldozer or what? The house, like she figures out that she needs.
She's like, wait a minute, this is a fake house.
No.
I gotta still get to the castle.
Oh yeah, and she tunnels her way out like Bugs Bunny because Hoggle throws her another rope through the floor.
Where is he keeping this rope?
He's like, I feel bad for.
They may as well call him Tuggle because he's got.
Oh, there we go.
So, he brings her up, and then everybody's ready to get ready, and then they storm the castle that has this giant mecha robot thing that looks like the most useless thing ever. It moves as molasses, and it's just like. Brr, brr. But then Hoggle tears open the head and sees the little rat in there, and he's like, "Oh, it's just a day job," and he throws him out.
Another Flintstones appliance.
I loved all the cannons just like bursting through
Yeah.
everyone's
Oh shit!
homes.
Yeah,
and-
that was great. That was great.
And then after Hoggle defeats that monster for her, she's like, well, I gotta go face him alone. Stay here, even though you're the only reason I haven't died 50 times.
Yeah, it's like, this is personal. It's like, is it though? It's like, dude, he touched me in a dream. It's personal.
Yeah, and then she walks through the door, and she's in MC Escher world, where staircases go wacky directions.
Yeah, it was scary for me to see that scene, even as an adult. I'm like, staircases should not go that way.
The peach is already wearing off, so she's like,
yeah.
can I get another peach, please? I don't think I can handle this world right now. Jareth, what did you have?
I'll take a pit at this point.
You know what? That masquerade wasn't so bad, all right? It was
Yeah,
a little
let's
rapey
go
like I
back
used
there.
to.
I liked the dress and the hair.
This is the famous "Your eyes can be so cruel" scene.
The baby's crawling and everything.
And how does she defeat Jareth the Goblin King, who did this all for her? I'm asking.
Oh. well, first he's got the balls out, so his cod is.
He's
smaller.
always got those balls.
He's got the balls, and
baby.
he's like, I can give you anything you want, my baby brother. I said I can get you anything you want.
Forget about the baby. Look at all these staircases.
Wait, he's like, your calves and your glutes, you're gonna be set, girl. Like, this is Stairmaster ×5.
This is Stair Conqueror
You're going to be crushing watermelons before you know it.
for your watermelon wine.
Meanwhile, Toby is just falling down all these stairs because he's a baby that can't crawl.
No, they can't.
He's just like, and then he's got a little ball. He already gave Toby. He's like, take one of my balls. And just ding,
Play with this thing.
Somehow
Yeah.
lodges it into his jaw. I was like, oh.
And then
They're just like, they're like talking and singing at each other the whole time. And then she's like, no, enough is enough. I'm taking my baby. And then she looks and just like flies flying around the baby. And she's like, oh.
well, you tried.
Can we talk about the part where Jared just like straight up comes up like
Oh, yeah, dude.
from the stairs? I don't even know how to
It looks
illustrate
like
that.
a puppet almost. Because
His
it's like,
leg just pops up out of nowhere and he like comes up.
Jim Henson magic.
She's like, Jareth, why didn't you do that at the masquerade ball? I love that dance move. That was so
Oh,
great.
you're holding that one back. It's like, well, I can only do it in the MC Escher stairs.
I've been practicing all day.
I have a lot of free time. All I had to do was watch a little baby.
And memorize songs.
And who can we? Okay, this is the mom and me. Who's changing this baby's diaper? Because you know he's been pooping the
God,
entire
yeah.
time.
Oh, no. He's dragging a bag behind him,
Wait.
if you know what I mean.
Oh my gosh! I just had an epiphany. What if the bog of eternal stench is all of the diapers from all the babies he's ever taken? All the Tobies.
It's symbolic of not
Shut
wanting
it.
to change a baby.
Shut it. I take back saying symbolic. I take it back.
You can't, because that would be symbolic of you throwing it.
Jared. Okay, here's the symbolism for the bog of eternal stench.
Okay.
In life, you just deal with shit all day long. And he's getting her prepared for that. And sometimes people help you and they give you a stepping stone so that you can make it to the next part
Even
of
if there's
life.
So he's
even if
actually the
there's-
good guy.
Even if there's shit on that stone, it's like sometimes you got to dip a toe.
And ladies, you can settle for hoggle.
Woo. That was some good movies we just watched and talked about. Labyrinth and NeverEnding Story.
In reverse order.
I wanted to highlight real quick that we always find a common thing with our battles. And of course, this is, it's kid movies that deal with adventures and, from a book. But another tying thing that is in common together for these movies was they both introduced parents, and it's been like, oh, fuck you, parents, by the end of the movie, because you never saw what happened to the parents.
Within one scene.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you don't think about it. You're like, yay, Falcor, kill the bullies. Or when Christine Connolly goes home, and you're like, yay, have a party with the demons. You don't think at all until you get older. Like, what happened to the dad?
Yeah.
Did she ever resolve her differences with stepmom?
Nope. She just kept stealing her makeup and saying, take that, you old broad.
She kept wishing her she would go on a date. So anyway, just wanted to highlight that. Which brings us to the portion of the podcast, the POP, if you will, where we, Conrad and I, and guest Danny, review the reviews. You guys interrupted. That's right. It's Review the Reviews, where Kon and I pick a 1-star and 5-star review from each movie, each different people, and we don't know what it is.
That's right. We are reading these to one another blindly for the first time, and neither Jono or Danny have seen my picks, and neither I or Danny have seen Jono's picks.
Yes.
And then Danny is going to be the decider of which reviews more accurately describe the film. And I get to go first because it's NeverEnding Story. Okay. 5-star review for NeverEnding Story. Hi. I did like the last one they made. Had a bit of fun to it as the boys got come back. I had a lady mate that was mad about book like the boy in this. Put books first before people. Sad it killed her.
What? Did he say a lady mate?
Yeah, I had a lady mate that was mad about book like the boy in this. Put books first before people. Sad it killed her. One person found this helpful.
It killed
I think what he's saying is that he had a female friend who also preferred books to people, and that was her demise.
She died?
Yeah, died from loving books. It's a common ailment, not in America.
Oh, he probably meant like, she's a librarian, and she was trying to reach for the top book, and the whole thing fell on her. So it's like, oh yeah, it was books that killed the beast.
No, guys. She was in the movie The Mummy, and she read the Book of the Dead.
Oh, no.
And then she died.
Wait, in the theater?
She was attending the Mummy. She's like, this is boring. I'm going to open this book.
Oh, was she watching a mummy like walking around? She's like, oh, this is boring. He's walking way too slow. I'm going to read a Book of the Dead. And then the mummy killed her.
Also, I'd like to point out that these reviews are pretty recent. They're like 1 year ago, 3 years ago. These movies are 40 years old.
Well, I mean, they didn't have Amazon in the 80s.
That's true.
VHS is making a comeback.
That'd be great if that was one of the reviews.
It just says VHS is making a comeback. 3
I had to
stars.
rewind this. It took forever.
I wasn't able to rewind the DVD.
I had to flip my laser disc halfway through. Okay, 1 star. Garbage. Movie has so many holes in it. In the beginning, the kid gets bullied, and in the end, he bullies the kids back. What a great role model. Horrible. Do not recommend. Have a good day.
Well, he's a polite reviewer.
That's right. 3 people found this helpful.
I mean, was that a 13-year-old? It sounds like have a great day.
Great day. Maybe it's sarcastic.
Garbage.
Boy, after watching that movie, I hope you have a great day.
Was garbage all in capital letters?
No, but good should be in quotes. Have a good day. All right, Danny. Would you say the 5-star or the 1-star review is a more accurate description of the NeverEnding Story?
Well, if I don't agree with either of them,
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit.
I would say
That's what's up.
What's the
I
one
would-
that's closest? So even if it's by a country mile, one's closer than the
Wow,
other.
that was good.
Are we talking kilometers?
A country kilometer.
Just a 1 freedom unit away.
I would say the second one.
Okay, you thought the
1-star?
1-star review, calling
Yeah.
it garbage?
Well, I wouldn't.
Well,
Call
the first one said something about his wife being dead by a book.
I wouldn't call it garbage. I'd understand the holes in the story. I understand that, and then I understand, the role model. And now, if you look at how kids are raised in school right now, there's anti-bullying, and there's everything's a rule, everything's a lesson, and everyone's changing how they interact with each other, and adults are being more mindful. So I can understand why that 1-star review. So yeah, I could see that.
Once again, a very thoughtful and intellectual.
And also,
I try.
statement from
and
you.
also they said have a great day.
You know what? I do appreciate that they want me to have a good day, even though they thought that the movie was garbage. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, Jono, it is now your turn for Labyrinth. reviews. Time.
Okay, Conrad, this is my 5-star review of Labyrinth. Well, it's not my 5-star review. It's whoever wrote
Just
this.
to be clear.
Jim Henson's coming-of-age story of 15-year-old Sarah who must accept that life isn't always fair and often filled with men who want her submission. Eerie childhood film, upon closer examination, glances at gangs of men who want to rape and behead her, an older man who wants to seduce her, and a date rape drug presented in the form of a poisoned peach. Absolutely genius. So much thought put into the making of this film, and every song, every line, every speck of glitter has purpose. I can understand initial confusing during the first watch, but if you are a woman, you can certainly relate to how men constantly try to use and abuse her throughout the film, and ends with her telling the man in charge, the Goblin King, that he has no power over her. We give men the power and we can take it back. 22 people found this helpful. And this was a woman who wrote this review, in case you thought.
That's a 5-star review?
That's a 5-star review.
Oh, it sounded like she hated it at first.
Yeah. She seems torn.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, here are all the problems with it, but there's a reason for that.
She sounds like a literary professor. I kind of like. What's the name? I mean, I don't know if you can share the name.
I can't share the name.
Okay.
But I can show you the name.
Yeah, we don't,
Recognize?
Oh, okay.
Don't you know her?
No.
Oh, that sounds like something she would say.
No, but it's...
Old
that's-
Dolores.
Yeah.
What? No. All right, so that's the 5-star. Here's the 1-star, guys. 1-star review for Labyrinth. Sacrilege.
Okay.
Anyway. God, this movie gives me nightmares. I remember watching it while folding my socks and shirts when I was 7. And I hated this movie ungodly bad. This and Where the Wild Things Are. So creepy. The acting is awful. And the characters creep me out. The storyline, I love it, but I hate the movie itself. I'd rather read a book than watch it. So, 1-star review. So I've tasked you, Danny, with deciding which is more accurate to the movie.
I mean, this is... Because a part of my brain wants to go one way and a part of my brain wants to go the other way.
Well, yeah, that's why you have you have a right and left brain.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Jono, for explaining that to me.
Well, I have to. I have a podcast.
We also have the cortex, the frontal lobe, the medulla oblongata.
Mm-hmm. You also have the brain.
You're so funny.
Which one of those is the squishy part?
The boogers.
Oh, because you shove them so far up.
You do?
Oh, is that not what you're supposed to do with it?
Oh.
Oh, that's only when you mummify a mummy. You
Oh,
scramble.
yeah, you have to put the
you put
boogers.
the
Well, you shove the
instrument.
boogers up.
You put the instrument up for the embalming
tuba?
person. The embalming purposes, you put the
Oh, yeah.
Egyptian instrument
And
up the nasal passage,
They
and
pull
then
them
you
out.
whisk
Scramble up their
around,
brains, yeah.
and then you take it out through their nasal
And then
passage.
and then you put the
Yeah.
mummy in an oven for 350 degrees.
Little Gruyere.
But anyway, 1-star, 5-star. What do we do?
And that's how you get a bagel for
listen.
salami.
Is it as good as Sal's?
Do you want some more brain schmear on that bagel? As much as I loved Labyrinth, I think I'm going to have to go with the intellectual review of the 5-star review.
The 5-star review. Okay.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
because it was very well.
Well,
thought out
it was thought out. It talked about the movie. Like the 1-star seemed to just be like, I don't like this movie or Where the Wild Things Are. And it's like, okay, well, that wasn't in the movie.
Right.
So
No. But I can understand it being very dark and dreary and scary, because
Yeah.
we grew up with Fraggle Rock and Sesame Street. So we're used to seeing puppetry and live action and animation and robotics and set designs. Whereas I feel like the, latest generations, they're seeing everything CGI and they're seeing everything animated. So I think if you come from watching these movies and growing up with them, it's not as scary as when, because I mean, I watched Michael Jackson Thriller, and when I saw that, I was like, oh, if I can handle that, I can handle Dark Crystal, I can handle
I don't know.
Labyrinth.
I always had to look away when he turned to the camera and he had the cat eyes and you hear Vincent Price laughing. I was like,
this is too sexy. I can't look at it anymore.
Yeah, my sisters had to hold me back. I'm like, I'm trying to get it on with the TV.
Why did you have to go there? No.
He pushes me to it. I'm like, oh, I was scared. And he's like, oh, you want to fuck the TV? I'm like, all right, I guess we're going in that direction.
No, that's not exactly my words, but okay.
You love Thriller, Michael Jackson, don't you? You like a little Thriller dance, don't you?
Oh, we've flown on the wings of a dog, and we've walked through the labyrinth with a bog. And now it's time to pick a winner out of these two 1980s dark fantasy classics. So between NeverEnding Story and Labyrinth, what's your pick for the winner? Guest goes first. Dani Bee.
I have to go with The Labyrinth.
Oh, shit. Why?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. I got about 1 more hour, so I'd like to go in my symbolism speech at this point.
Perfect.
No, it's just such a classic. It's got the best of both worlds. It's got music and dancing and a big cup. And I loved the imagery and the set design and the makeup and all the costumes, and I thought they did such a great job with the storyline, and it's thought-provoking and enchanting, and I just got swept up in the whole story. So I thought it was a great movie. Great movie. Yeah.
You'd recommend?
I would highly recommend, and all the people that gave bad reviews, I think you should watch it again, maybe with a friend, maybe turn the lights on, grab some Mountain Dew, and just give it another go.
Pour yourself an Eggmosa.
If you
Get an Eggmosa.
Just
Get a
settle
side
your
of
stomach down.
potato salad.
If you didn't like Where the Wild Things Come From, then you may not like this one.
All right, well, Jono, what saith thee?
What saith? Well, I saith Jareth, because Labyrinth is also my pick. Codpiece or no, I'm here to stay with this wonderful movie because, Henson Company, of course, and, all the reasons that Dani said. Brilliant to look at, wonderful treasure. And, NeverEnding Story has this too, where like the hero has this kind of like optimism that's just overflowing. And, Jennifer Connelly pulls that off so well. Like from the get-go, she doesn't like get to the beginning of the labyrinth and is like, oh, it's just so far. She's like, well, come on, feet. Let's go get some meat. Pick up your seat and let's get on down to the meet and greet. And which she meets and greets everybody. And she's like, hey, how's it going, demon of the world? Can you point me to the demon castle? And she does it with like, a light step in her tap. Or a light tap in her
neat.
tap. Yeah, this is super neat.
I'm having an adventure.
Yeah. And whereas Bastion is having an adventure by proxy, but still, he's, good movie. So yeah, both of them are really good. But Labyrinth wins.
Heard.
I pick Labyrinth. But now, Conrad, what say you on what movie?
Now that it doesn't matter what my vote is.
You're gonna throw
it matters. It always matters, Conrad.
I'm going for a third-party movie.
Wayne's World 2.
Inglorious Bastards.
That was a fantasy world.
So, I actually like the imagery better in NeverEnding Story. I think that a lot of the imagery in this informed some of my taste as an adult. I also kind of like that, I don't know. I really liked his hero's journey. But yeah, Labyrinth for sure is my pick because I love the music and I love Jim Henson and the puppetry's better. So yeah, we're unanimous stands for Jareth.
Unanimous standimus?
I have to know what.
Well, while you were talking, I I had a thought because you said that NeverEnding Story was kind of the beginning of all that fantasy world, and like you think it had something to do with the make of Labyrinth and the characters in that fantasy world.
Oh.
Or how did you word it?
I said that it informed a lot of my visual taste.
Oh, I'm sorry. It informed a lot. You see how I dissected that? Not the same thing. So
You're getting to the root of it.
what I was thinking was, if that formed the second movie, or you know how they kind of play off of each other's fantasy world. I was thinking, was that movie with the horse in the swamp? Do you guys remember if there's a disclaimer like no animals were hurt in the making of this? Like, was that the start of it, or did it happen with John Wayne?
I don't think they started doing that.
It started in the 80s, I think.
Yeah,
but I don't think it had started yet.
Okay, because I was thinking people were probably what happened
that fool was harmed as fuck.
I mean, that horse, it was either glue factory or under the swamp.
Yeah, they filmed the first shot of him and the last shot first, and then the swamp, they're like, just in case.
Just making sure he's okay.
Because Atreyu was actually saying, okay, the scene's over, come on. He kept thinking.
Okay, so Conrad, you are NeverEnding Story.
No, I said
No,
Labyrinth.
he said Labyrinth.
Oh,
I also do that a lot, where I like start acting like one of them's going to be like I'm going to disrupt the vote, and then I pick the same one.
I mean, could have fooled her.
Then you're like, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
I picked Debbie Does Dallas.
Gorlami Does New York.
Well, you heard it here, folks. Labyrinth is the maze to your heart. Our hearts. Everyone's. Labyrinth is the winner. The medal and trophy will be made and given to
Labyrinth.
This nice Blu-ray copy that I have.
We'll send something to the entire cast and crew, the living ones.
Well, roses will be sent to NeverEnding Story. Well, lilies. And yeah.
Folks, perfect segue. I say it all the time. Please make sure you rate, review, subscribe wherever you are listening to this. It really does make a difference. It really does help people find our podcast. And thank you again for listening. If you have an idea for a battle you would like to see, please drop us a little line over at battles@filmfightspodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook, Film Fights Podcast. Shoot us a message over there if you're feeling squirrely, but nothing too crazy, okay? Because we do read them, and some of you are dirty birds. Jareth is. He was an owl. Danny, thank you so much for joining us. It is such a pleasure to have you, and always a pleasure when we all get to hang out and cut up together. Do you have any dates you'd like to plug for our lovely spectators?
Yes, I got into the solo festival in LA in Sherman Oaks. That'll be March 16th.
Wow.
At 7:00, I'll be performing Laugh After Death, my one-woman show. I'm really excited. I'm ready to take it on the road outside of Texas. And then November 23rd, which I know is coming up really fast, it's going to be performed at Mic Drop Comedy Club in Plano, Texas. And that'll be at 4:30. And then I have a friend that's going to put me on at in New Mexico sometime next year. So I'm really hoping to travel and, see what happens with this show. I'm very excited
Where
about
can
it.
people follow along so they can see future dates?
Oh, thanks. That's a really good idea. Well, they can come to my house.
It's not my first
address. My address of my house is. I'm just kidding. No, they can follow me on Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle?
The way I just said Instagram was hideous.
It was perfectly normschmal.
You know what? I'm going to do it in the Hoarder Lady voice. Okay,
Okay, do it.
You can follow me on Instagram. No, that's getting a little Yoda. Sorry.
Well, they are twins.
Yeah, that's right.
You can follow me on Instagram at comedienne Dani Bee. That was a little grinchy. Okay, just follow me at comedienne Dani Bee.
And that's B, like the animal, not the letter B.
What? Bee is the bug. with
Bugs are animals.
We're all
animals. We are all animals.
I don't know why people cockeye me when I'm like, oh, that fly, that was
the
real animal.
insect, the bumblebee, yes, BEE.
So comedian Dani Bee.
Comedian DANIBEE. And you're right, bees are animals.
And folks, I'll just say, if you can catch Dani Bee's one-woman show, Laugh After Death, it is hilarious, but also very moving. It's very much a laugh and cry, and I mean that sincerely. It was a real pleasure to see. So I'm glad you're taking it on the road.
Yeah,
Road Dogs.
It's a really good show. I'm glad it's happening.
Yeah,
but we us film fighters also have something exciting coming up in January, starting in January and going through December.
That's right.
We're doing a scripted show for the show. It's called Film Frights. It is me and Conrad as monster hunters. So we will still be doing the show. We will be doing battles, but for this show, it is basically a single movie review bookended by a scripted narrative. This has been something we've been working on for many years now. Very excited to finally get to do it because I love writing. I love writing stories and I love audio plays and stuff like that, radio plays and the such. And so we're really excited to do something fun and silly where we get to review movies and get to do scripts and fun productions. Stay tuned, gang.
In addition to working really hard to edit and record this show with me, Jono also has been working on these scripts for a very long time, and they're very, very funny. So we're very much looking forward to it. It's going to be a great time.
Gonna be great. We're gonna have guests on there, music, sound effects like pow and stuff like that, and it's gonna be great. Change, like the sound.
Oh, I thought you meant the song by David Bowie.
Oh, let me tell you something about Bowie. He was a friend of mine. Because in fact, that song "Life on Mars?" ? I was the reason for the question mark.
He sent you the song lyrics, and you were like. I don't know about this title. And he's like, perfect. I just needed a question.
If you notice, there's no punctuation in any of his song titles except that one. Well, except for Dance, Baby, Dance, comma, Baby. So anyway, back to David Bowie. He came over the other day.
Bye!
You know what? We haven't touched on our thoughts on potato salad. Guys, are you for it or against it?
I actually have lots of thoughts on this. So first of all,
yeah, please.
Mustard-based, best. Well, actually second best, first best, loaded baked potato.
Dani, potato salad, how you doing?
I don't like potato salad at all. I don't like lots of salad. I don't like fruit salad.
Wait a minute, hang on.
Pasta salad. Because working with elderly, they love bringing any type of salad.
You know that fruit salad and potato salad are not like the same kind of dish, right?
There's like tuna salad, chicken salad, lobster salad. They're all the salads.
Salad. Tell me more. What about? Wait a minute. Hold on. What about macaroni?
What is your issue? The mayo? Or?
It's just. I think it's a lazy type of dish, and I get very
Excuse me.
No, if you think about what it takes to make a deviled egg,
that's how the Cobb salad was made. You know, it was
Professor Cobb.
Yeah, Professor Cobb.
Oh, I was going to say Colonel Cobb.
I didn't know his rank.
Right.
He opened his fridge and was like, "Well, I've got ham, I've got eggs, I've got blue cheese."
And the big meeting's in 15 minutes.
Threw it all in a pillowcase and shook it up.
Guys, we haven't even started, and I'm dying.
We're about to start.
Dying.
Yeah, we're about to start.
We are warmed it up now.
We are warmed up, yes. But is there anything else to add?